Okay, well, let's see who else we get. We already ran through Derek. Literally, with a knife. Now let's see who else we're going to be stuck with. Alrighty. Good evening and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you? She's fresh, healthy, and alert. I'm sure she'll be versatile enough to fulfill any of your needs. The voice chuckled softly. Now I'm sure you all know the drill. I'll start asking questions, and you lovely folks can begin bidding at any time. Get on with it. Fuck off, Derek. Shut up unless you're bidding. You sound like a hag. You little shit. I bet you can't even afford anything here. Get back to... Now. Shouldn't we save our passion for the main event? For a moment, the voices went silent. Shall we ask our item some questions and begin the bidding? Yes, please. Excellent. Let's begin. I think I'm going to try to do the opposite of what I did the first time where I got stuck with Derek. Okay. What are you doing here? So the first time I said, how the hell should I know? Let's just say, I don't know. How am I supposed to know what's going on? 110. Wonderful. Now, do you consider yourself to be athletic? Last time I said no. So this time I'm going to say, hell yeah. I cleared my throat and tried to sound more confident. Yes. 130. See? Here's a fun one. Are you scared? No way. The hell kind of questions are these? I made sure to speak clearly and keep my back straight. No, I'm not scared of you people. You can all suck my ass. Okay, let's see. How much money do you make? So I said broke last time, so I'm fucking loaded. I'm loaded as hell. 180. Good. Okay. How well do you follow instructions? Last time I said I don't know, so I guess I could just be like, I can follow instructions just fine. Don't worry, just a couple left. Do you enjoy camping? Last time I said I hate camping, so fucking I love camping. Wow, camping is the best. I love being outside with no toilet or AC and bugs. It's just best experience. 10 out of 10. Was one of these weirdos wanting to take me camping? 230. Ooh, probably that weirdo. All right. You're doing wonderfully. Last question. Who would you like to go home with? What? I look at the windows across from me in the dark room. There's not really an opposite to this one. Let's see what happens. Oh, now there's a bidding war between these two guys. 250. Come on, old man, you wouldn't even know what to do with her. 260. I shifted my weight for a moment as the silence became awkward. 760. Oh, yeah. Look at me. I'm an expensive bitch. I could practically feel the angry energy coming from the red window. Get wrecked, Derek. I feel a little better knowing that he wouldn't be winning. I hear 760. Anyone else? Sold! To my robust friend in the green. We'll prepare the shipment to send out to you right away. Ooh, I'm a luxury product. Look at me. Shipment? What does that mean? I feel a sharp jab in my ankle. Does that mean I get to start making demands? I am a luxury person. I need my tent in the woods to be exactly 76 degrees. I'm gonna need fresh Taco Bell laid out for me every night. Okay. I woke up coughing. It's cold. Oh, I can't see. Got a bag on my head. I took a moment to try and get my bearings. I'm lying down. My hands are tied, and I'm blindfolded. I push down at the wave of panic rising in my chest. I'm wearing something warm, but a cold wind is biting at my face and hands. I'm definitely outside. Oh! My panic exploded from my control as I heard the gruff voice and heavy footsteps approaching. Look at you, already awake. I felt the nudge of a boot and tried to get away from it. Let's try to talk to him. Who are you? Where am I? I tried to keep my panic out of my voice, but it bled through anyway. Huh. Looks like you're about ready, huh? I could hear the heavy footsteps slowly circling my body. Now the suits gave me a name for you. Cece. Is that right? Before I could answer, he continued. Anyway, suppose we might as well have it even. You can call me Mason, if you're the talking sort. Now, I'm going to be taking the blindfold off. Stand up. Okay, well, we did say we follow instructions just fine, so let's just go ahead and get up. I might as well comply. It's not like I have much of a choice. I awkwardly scrambled before managing to get into a kneeling position. I took a deep breath and shakily got onto one foot, then the other. I half expected him to say something about how long I was taking, yet I only heard silence. The crunch of a twig told me he had gotten very close. That's better. A hand gripped my blindfold. Hello, Mason. I stepped back as my eyes adjusted. This guy is huge. My eyes darted everywhere, trying to get as much information as I could. I looked down at myself and saw clothing I've never seen before. I was wearing a warm outfit and coat. What the hell? Yep, it's a little late in the year. My attention snapped back to him. Your job is to survive. It's a good thing I'm great at that. Mountain's a dangerous place, understand? To my surprise, he held out a small backpack. Supplies for the mountain. Okay, thanks. I cautiously grabbed the backpack. I should probably take anything I can get at this point. I pulled the backpack over my arms and looked to him. He nodded in approval. All right. He grabbed something from behind him. Oh, fuck. Run. I turned around, screaming internally at my body to move faster. I stumbled over roots, cursing my stiff legs. What the fuck was that? A crossbow? Just as I began to manage my muscles and the pounding blood in my ears, I heard a crack in front of me. I glanced to the side just in time to see a crossbow bolt lodged deep in a tree beside me. I ran even faster than I knew I could. He's trying to kill me. I don't know how long I ran for. I ran until my lungs felt like they were full of glass shards. I slowed, but I kept moving, sucking in the cold air and forcing my aching limbs to move. Something caught my dragging feet and I fell to the ground. I laid there, shaking, trying to process what was happening. I listened for him. Nothing. Just wind through the trees. I took a few deep breaths and looked around myself. Everything looked the same, just trees and mountains. I held my arms close and tried to stay calm. The autumn cold was biting. It's colder than it looks out here. I have to find some way to get warm, or that crossbow will be the least of my problems. So we went from being like way too fucking hot all of the time, boiling in the heat, to like, now we're gonna freeze to death. We really did go opposite. I could look through what I have or keep moving. Well, let's see. We've got a box cutter. I don't know what the fuck that is. Pad and pencil. Looks like some trail mix. What is this? Oh, flint and steel. Okay, cool. Okay, let's draw our location on the map. Pulled the paper and pencil out of the bag. I could draw a map and get my bearings with this. I had thought that this might have been the exact reason he put the paper in the bag. I shook my head. It doesn't matter. I scrawled a quick drawing of my surroundings and shoved the map back in my bag. As I walked forward, I noticed my pace slowing. Something was wrong. I stopped and looked around myself. The birds. The animals weren't making any sound. I was knocked to my knees. Then I felt the pain. I gripped the ground and half stifled a scream. I looked down and could see the tip of a crossbow bolt protruding from the front of my thigh. I quickly whipped around, trying to see where it came from. He's here. I saw the slightest movement from behind a tree. Like, my guy, I've been here for 5 minutes. I mean, you paid $7.60 of whatever for me, and you're going to kill me in the first 5 minutes? Like, let's go ahead. I knew I couldn't run now. I moved quickly and tried to stay low as I looked for cover. The movement I saw was far away. I have enough time. I spotted a dip in the ground and the fallen trunk of a dead tree. I slid in close to it and laid down against the ground. I tried to steady my breathing and listen past my pounding heartbeat. We're wounded, but we're not gravely wounded. Okay, so maybe we can fix it. Soon, the slow and soft crunching of dead leaves hit me. I bite my lip as the sound got closer. Soon he was so close I could swear I could hear him breathing. No, no. A quiet, low chuckle. I squeezed my eyes shut, bracing myself. Then the footsteps walked away. I dug my fingers into the earth below me. He was really leaving, so he knew. Okay, because I'm like, why would you pay all of this money to chase me around this mountain if you're just going to kill me in the first 5 minutes? I stayed there long after I couldn't hear him, until I couldn't feel my hands and I was certain he was gone. As I tentatively moved to sit up, I became more aware of the throbbing in my leg. I won't be able to walk with this. I grabbed the tip poking out of my pant leg in the front. All the pain came flooding back. I clenched my teeth. Oh, don't pull it out. No, you're not supposed to pull it out. Can we cut it? Can we just use the knife and cut it? Ugh. Thankfully, the bolt came out fairly easily. I held my leg with as much pressure as I could, hoping that it would stop bleeding. Judging by the slow ooze of blood, it hadn't managed to hit any major artery. I breathed slowly on the ground, clutching my leg. Cool. So, alright, let's walk towards... let's look around. I looked carefully around the tall grasses of the meadow. I searched hard, but I couldn't find anything useful. Okay, let's go to some rocks. Hey, we found some water. After following the sound of water, I came to a creek. The lazy stream was actually kind of pretty. It made me feel a little better. Like, oh, I'm trapped on the mountains with this lunatic with a crossbow that's trying to kill me, but look at this pretty little stream. Look at it. Wow. All right. I approached the water of the creek. I could see movement under the water. Fish! Fish were fighting the current, even in the shallow parts of the creek. I saw some barely moving, resting in the lee of rocks. I mean, do we have anything to catch a fish with? What the heck? I love to run headlong into situations where the odds are thoroughly stacked against me. I quickly sprung into action. I'm going to catch it with my hands like a bear. I ran back into the bush and found a long stick. Oh, no, I'm going to spear it with my hands like a bear. I tried to move as quickly as possible. I didn't know how long the fish would be here. I kept an eye on one fish in particular as I pulled out my small knife to whittle a point onto the stick. Once I was satisfied with my spear, I approached the creek again. My heart was pounding. I'm probably only going to have one chance at this. My target was practically still. I readied my weapon. Now! With the furious splashing under my strike, I knew I had done it right. Yes! The other fish vanished as I waited for my victim to stop moving. I pulled it out carefully. I did it! Hooray! I really caught a fish! Yay! Oh, I shivered violently. It felt like the cold was going right through my entire body. Okay, so maybe... Can we build a fire here? Let's make a fire. I searched around for some small dry bits to start my fire with. Luckily, there seemed to be plenty to work with, and we can cook our fish while it's still fresh. I gathered some wood and started to work with a flint. As the spark caught the tinder, I felt a sigh of relief. The warmth from the flickering light reached my hands and filled me with comfort. Okay, so can we... Yeah, let's cook it. I took out the fish I caught earlier. I tried my best to clean it with my knife before putting a stick through it. I held it over the fire and relaxed a bit. This might be fun in other circumstance. This might be fun in another circumstance. Look at this pretty little stream. Look at my cute little fire and my cute little fish that I caught. I'm having a great little vacation up here in the mountains with my crossbow boyfriend. As it cooked, I began to smell it. My stomach growled. Are we hungry though? Not really. Once it was nearly blackened on the outside and flaky on the inside, I took it away from the flame. Finally, some real food. Alright. Well, our energy's still pretty high. So let's stay here for just a little bit more. I relaxed by the fire. What? Clearly, I am not nearly as worried here as I was in the desert. Okay, so let's go see if we can find anything while we still have energy and daylight. I quickly put out my fire. I made it to the meadow. I sat down and rested in the clearing. I didn't tell you to do that. I made it to the trees. I sat down against a large tree. I looked carefully through the bush among the trees. I searched hard, but I couldn't find anything useful. Okay, well, now let's eat our little fish. I held out my fish and grabbed the small knife from my bag. I carved a bit of cooked meat away and placed it on my mouth. I don't know if it was just from being out here in the cold or starving, but the flaky, soft fish tasted amazing. I tried to savor my meal, but I could hardly stop myself. Once it was gone, I sighed and wiped my mouth. I felt a lot better after that. Okay, so we drew our location. It's got woods. This is really keeping me on course because we've got trees here, some rocks. Doing great. Let's go deeper in. I shivered violently. It felt like the cold was going right through my entire body. One of the trees stood out among the rest. It was a lot bigger. If I could get to the top, maybe I could find a way out of here? Alright. Let's make another fire. And we're just going to warm up a little bit because we are a little bit chilly. Our health is going down so fast, though. Oh, no. Alright, let's do one more. Let's climb the tree. I looked up at the tree and grabbed a branch to hoist myself up. I hissed in pain as the effort reawakened fresh pain in my injured leg. I breathed deeply and kept moving. It was hard to see which branch to pick in the darkness. I kept climbing slowly, trying not to look down. As I broke above the canopy, I could see starlight. The forest around me was like a black sea, frozen in time. For a moment, I felt detached from my current reality. Like, I'm doing fucking great. Like, I've been stabbed in the leg. I'm out in the cold. There's a maniac chasing me with a crossbow. But you know what? Great vacation. I absolutely recommend this getaway. The Airbnb owner seems super chill, as long as you like crossbows to the legs. It was really kind of beautiful up here. Wow, my pretty stream and my cute little fish. And my hands were getting cold and I knew I'd better climb back down. Okay. So let's, should we put our fire out first? Probably. Put out the fire and go to sleep. I gasped as I woke up. I looked around myself and remembered where I was. I groggily got back up. Alright, so let's make a fire again. Oh, you're gonna die. What do I do? Okay. Well, let's put out the fire. Did I already draw this on the map? Okay. Let's go back into the woods. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. Walked into a trap. I took a moment to calm myself down. I can't afford to keep making noise. After a few deep breaths, I looked up at the trap. My ankle was in a tight snare. The wire shone with a sinister glint. Ooh, wire. I suspected that it would be cutting into my flesh if it weren't for the boots I was wearing. I was beginning to lose feeling in my foot. Can I? Do I have enough core strength? Because I feel like our little knife isn't going to cut the wire, so... I think I saw this in a movie once. You just need to swing back and forth. I wiggled my body and tried to throw my weight. Eventually, I managed to get a rhythm going. I swung towards the tree nearest to me. Once it was in range, I grabbed the trunk and held on tightly. Where was the rest of the snare? I felt around the trunk in vain before looking up. The wire seemed to just disappear into the branches. I couldn't spot the counterweight. My hands began to slip from the trunk as I grunted with effort. My shaking arms couldn't keep hold. I fell away from the trunk and dangled again. Now the snare was tighter, and I had nothing to show for it. I groaned in defeat. I was exhausted. Blood was rushing to my head, and it was getting harder to think. I don't know what to do. I dangled there, floating in and out of consciousness, unaware of how much time was passing. I realized that the thumping of blood in my ears was accompanied by other thumps, growing louder. I wriggled in place, trying to turn around. I could hear the crunch of the forest floor under his feet. Then thick hands grasped at my waist and turned me around. I couldn't stop a whimper from escaping my throat. I didn't really think this one was going to work. I followed his gaze to the wire. He must be talking about the snare. He casually pulled out a small knife with a white handle. No, no, no. I wriggled in vain, completely unable to get any distance from him. Have you been waiting long for me? To answer, stay quiet, try to stall him. Yeah, it's been a while. Maybe if I cooperate. I've been here for maybe an hour or two. He looked a bit surprised and chuckled deeply. I guess he wasn't expecting an answer. He easily pushed my coat down to my face, exposing my waist. The cold air on my skin sent a violent shiver through my body. No, no, no. I writhed as he moved the blade to my skin. Try and hold still. I cried out as I felt the blade sink into my belly. My cry became a blood-curdling scream as he dragged it down towards my ribs. I convulsed. The pain and blood pounding in my head were making me dizzy. Oh, you can see my guts. Hot blood was running up my body and over my face. I could feel his large hand slip into the hole in my torso. Oh my God. The sensation muted me. He was pulling things out of me. I could feel the weight of my organs shift to the outside of my body. Between the blood pouring over my face and pulling in my head, I felt like I was drowning. I didn't have the strength to writhe anymore. He worked quietly. All I could hear was the wet, constant dripping of my blood on the leaves below. The pain began to subside. Soon, all I could feel was dizziness and cold. Then, nothing at all. All right, caught and cleaned like a deer. Awesome. Okay. So last time we talked, nothing really happened, so let's shake it up. I immediately twisted my body and tried to get my knees underneath myself. Settle down. The boot pushed me back down to the ground. It wasn't particularly rough, but something about the force behind the motion sent a shiver down my body. Looks like you're about ready, huh? Alright, so this is all the same. No. Fuck you. Why should I make anything easier for this asshole? I braced myself for his reply. Having trouble? I heard him close the gap in one step. A large hand gripped the back of my clothing. Wait, no! I gasped as my body was pulled upwards, quickly and firmly. I forgot about my protests as I suddenly adjusted to standing on shaky legs. The crunch of a twig told me he'd gotten very close. That's better. A hand gripped my blindfold. Mason? Alright. We're definitely gonna take the backpack. Let's keep moving. I made it to the trees. I sat down against a large tree. Alright, so we drew the woods. Let's look around. Ooh, after several minutes of wandering, I spotted some color. Two bushes, not very far apart, seemed to have berries on them. One had small, purplish blue berries. They looked a bit like blueberries. The other had bright red, juicy-looking berries. These sort of looked like cranberries. Which one do I want to poison myself with first? I don't know anything about berries. I feel like the red ones are probably poison, but I mean, with my luck, they're probably both poison. Well, beggars can't be choosers. Might as well take what I can get. I picked all the berries I could find. Alright. Oh, crap. Is he here? Ah, damn it. Okay. So, I guess let's hide. Damn it, I was hoping that we could avoid that by getting out of the clearing. Let's go get our fish. A cold wind rushed through the trees. I'm trying to get my fish. I tried to shield myself from the bite. The pain in my limbs and face felt like tiny knives. Oh, we're probably just really cold. Okay. Let's make a fire. And cook our little fish. Do we cook the berries? Are we able to? I guess not. They seem safe. What about these? They seem safe too. Unhelpful. Alright, well at least we've got our little fish. Let's stay here for a little bit, warm up. I searched around the rocks and water. I can hardly see anything. Alright, so moment of truth. Let's go blue. I grabbed my handful of berries and popped one into my mouth. A little tart, but not bad. I quickly ate the rest of the berries. That feels a little better. Okay, let's see how far we get with these. Alright. We still got energy, so let's put out our fire. Draw our location on the map. Same with this. Is there anything here? I looked carefully around the tall grasses of the meadow. I searched hard, but I couldn't find anything useful. Let's go in here. And let's build a fire. It seems like those berries were fine, though, so the blue ones, A-okay. So I guess let's sleep then. Oh, poop. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. A glint just barely caught my eye. I looked closer and saw wire? I found your trap. Around it was a strange display of raised sticks in a T shape. They were blending in before, but now they seemed obvious. As I followed the wire to the tree with my eyes, I suppressed a shudder. It's a snare. A really big one. I gulped. I'm really glad I spotted this before stepping in it. Yeah, kind of idiot would step in a trap like that. I touched the wire. It's sharp. I mean, maybe if we dismantle it, we can get the wire. I'm not leaving this up. I looked carefully for the ring of wire at the base of the trap. Using a branch from the forest floor, I pushed the center stick of the contraption. The wire whipped up past me. I let out a relieved sigh. Not this time, asshole. Okay. Let's sleep then. Well, I awoke to a slam on my chest. I could barely make sense of the pain as my brain struggled to wake up in panic. Oh, fuck, it's an actual bear. An actual real-life bear. Hey, buddy. A dark, enormous shape covered me. Then I heard the loud sniffing and began to make out some details in the dark. A bear. I screamed involuntarily and the bear reacted. Inches of claws sank into my chest with an impossible weight behind them. I fumbled for my knife. I managed to grasp it and take a swipe at the face in front of me. It screamed with me. I kept screaming as huge jaws clamped down on my neck. My scream became a gurgle as the flesh from my throat was torn away. I had no time to process anything. Thankfully, everything went dark quickly. In a way, as everything faded, I thought this beast was merciful. Maybe it's because I had the fish and I didn't eat it right away. Oops. Okay, so maybe we try to stay still. I gulped and stayed still, trying to calm myself. I can't panic now. Looks like you're about ready, huh? Alrighty. Just stand up. Take the backpack. Keep moving. Let's climb it. After some progress, my limbs began to ache from the effort. I kept moving, trying not to look down. I'm hoping that we can avoid the crossbow and not die of crossbow-related injuries. I saw light. I moved a bit higher up and saw the tops of the trees around me. It might have been beautiful if I was in a different situation. I took a deep breath and I looked around for any kind of road or something that could help me. I spotted the meadow I had been released in and something dark, something man-made. I squinted. It was definitely a cabin. I took note of the sun's position and where the cabin was. It looks like I can get to it from that meadow. A gust of wind shook the top of the tree as I clung to the branches. It was pretty cold and dangerous up here. I'd better go back down. I carefully climbed back down the tree to safety. I took out the crumpled paper and pencil. I need to remember where it was. I did my best to sketch something. This will probably be better if I draw some other locations too. I put it away. It'll have to do for now. Okay, well, I guess let's draw this location. Oh, we already did it. Okay. Alright, so let's go back. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Let's run. I turned on my heel and ran as fast as I could. The pain seemed to fade away with the fear and adrenaline. I ran for as long as I could. My foot began to drag. My leg was no longer obeying me. I heaved, unsure of how long I'd actually been running. I slumped to the ground, my heart pounding. My leg was covered in blood. I think I got away. I glanced down at my bloody leg while catching my breath. I can't keep running with this. I gripped the tip poking out of my pant leg to the front. All the pain came flooding back. I clenched my teeth and pulled hard. Thankfully, the bolt came out fairly easily. I held my leg with as much pressure as I could, hoping that it would stop the bleeding. Judging by the slow ooze of blood, it hadn't managed to hit any major artery. I breathed slowly on the ground, clutching my leg. Damn it, I thought we avoided the crossbow. Fuck. Alright. Well, let's go to the rocks. Get our fish. Make a fire. Cook our fish. Eat the fish so that we don't get attacked by bears. And then sleep. I gasped as I woke up. I looked around myself and remembered where I was. I don't know what to do about this. I don't know. Okay. Well, let's draw our little location. Alrighty. Let's draw here. So now we've got a pretty complete map. Fuck it, let's go to the cabin. I think I'm going in the right direction. I pushed past more trees. There! Suddenly, a break in the trees led to the side of a wooden cabin. To my frustration, there was no sign of any road. Just thick forest on all sides. How the hell does he get out of here? I could try looking inside. Go inside? Get the hell out of here. Let's be adventurous. Throw caution to the wind. We're on vacation. Like, let's be a little bad. I slowly opened the door. I wasn't sure if I was shaking from the cold or from worry. I moved it so slowly, terrified of making a sound. Eventually, I was able to peek inside. Dark. I opened the door and poked my head in. A hand pulled me in. Ah! Hey, Mason. Oh? I spend all day looking for you, and you're right here. I fumbled for my knife and tried to swipe at him. I yelped as he grabbed my weapon arm and twisted it behind my back. He slammed me face first into the cabin wall. I could feel him breathing behind me. I really did want this to last longer. Barely got any tracking in. He pressed me tighter and I wheezed. But can't have you knowing where the cabin is. He let go of my arm and gripped both sides of my head. I felt a chill of recognition. No. With one practice and brutally strong motion, he snapped my neck. I was unable to move or speak. I could only lie there for the next few seconds as my senses faded. I mean, it's better than being eaten to death by a bear, I guess. I looked carefully through the bush among the base of the tall tree. I searched hard, but I couldn't find anything useful. Alright, I want to go back and get that fish, but I'm worried that we're gonna get crossbowed. I'm wondering if I leave that trap, like if I stay here for a little while and leave that trap up and sleep here, that the trap will stop the bear if it wasn't actually the fish. Because I feel like it was the fish that brought the bear. But if it wasn't, it was just me being here. Stay here for just a little bit more. Can we sleep yet? Cool. Alright, we desperately need to eat, so let's go back. Is it too dark to look around? Okay. Okay, yeah, it's too dark. So I guess let's just eat our little trail mix. I considered the idea that he might be trying to poison me, but why would he do that? He's made it pretty clear that he wants to hunt me. I grit my teeth at my own indecision before defiantly popping an almond into my mouth. It seems fine. Before long, I was devouring the contents of the bag. I was a little annoyed with myself for eating the whole thing, but the relief of not being hungry was worth it. Alright, let's draw a location, make a fire, stay here and warm up a little bit. Now that it's light, we can get fish. And then cook our fish. And thus far, we have avoided being crossbowed. So, okay, so it's daytime. He's probably tracking us now. We've got a good bit of energy. Maybe we just... Ah, fuck me. Yet again, I speak too soon. Okay. Let's just see if he's there. Oh, no, he's in there. Okay, maybe we can find something to bandage our crossbow. Once my eyes adjusted, I could see bones and furs. It smelled musty, but it was warm. It sort of cozy, in a way, with this human skull. So why is this camp version so much more chill with their entire situation than the desert version? Like, desert me was like, what the fuck? Everything sucks. I'm gonna get turned into dust and sand, and everybody's gonna forget me, and I hate the situation. And this one is just like, oh, this is pretty stream. I love this. Look at this cute little cabin with its cute little human skulls. This is so great. I'm having a wonderful time. Like, wow. Not sure I should stay here long. Like, literally, we're like, oh, so cute. I got to work searching the inside of the cabin. I checked the shelves and cupboards. I tried to ignore the fake glass eyes and the open skull sockets watching me. Tools for cooking and carving. Strange dark brown leather and furs. Everything seemed to be handmade. How could there be nothing useful? It was a small, albeit somewhat creepy, living area. Not a single weapon, at least nothing bigger or more dangerous than the knife I already have. I sighed in frustration. We don't have anything for our leg. Fuck. Alright. Guess we don't really need to draw anything. Alright, guess we'll leave. Fuck. Can we at least, like, wash? Can we, like, wash our leg? Let's go to the trees. Uh-oh. I heard a loud crack. I jumped at the loud sound and whipped around looking for the source. I spotted it easily and stumbled backwards. I stared in horror at the bolt protruding from the tree bark next to me. I turned to where the end of the bolt was pointing and saw him. Everything felt so slow, like I was trying to move during a nightmare. I saw the second bolt in the air. I felt the punch and yank on my arm. I was knocked off balance and fell backward with a soft thud. I was still a deer in headlights. I wanted to scream, but it felt like it was stuck inside my throat. Finally, I began to gain control of my body again and began to scramble as a boot landed on my chest. No, wait. You're not so hard to find, are ya? I strained against his weight as he bent down. My eyes widened as he grabbed the bolt currently through my arm. No! He yanked it from my flesh in one mercilessly rough motion. I screamed loudly and clearly. It seemed to ring through the cold air. I realized he leaned closer as I gasped for air. You got an animal's scream. Gets the heart pumping. Why are you doing this? Get off me. Please don't hurt me. Get off me. I struggled as hard as I could. He was massive and didn't budge. Still, I needed to try everything. I grunted as he pressed down a bit harder. He flashed a small grin. So, how's the leg holding up? Fuck off. His words made me look down. Dark blood was caked all around my thigh, soaked through my pants. I almost didn't notice him licking his thumb before he had it pressed to the wound against my leg. I had no time to react. I cried out hoarsely as he shoved his thumb deep into my thigh. Nasty! My cry ended in a wheezing sob as I tried to curl in on myself. The pain was blinding. Careful now. I began to shake involuntarily as he stood up. A hole like that's gonna slow you down. I tried to hold my injured leg with my bleeding arm. He stepped away from me and, to my surprise, began backing away. I just watched in confusion as he nodded to me once and then turned around to walk away. What? He disappeared into the trees. Why is he leaving me? I squeezed my torn up arm and tried to avoid thinking what I knew was the answer. He was playing with me. Okay, well, we're gonna bleed out. Also, if he wants to be like a badass hunter and go and hunt his victims or whatever, like, why does he feel the need to like get a crossbow through my leg? Day one, moment one, minute one, he's like, crossbow to the leg so I can track you easier. Like, are you good at this or not? Like, obviously you're at a point where like, regular animals aren't a challenge anymore. I need something human and intelligent. But then you do this? Let's just sleep, I guess. Oh, there's the bear. Did I have the fish in my inventory? Look, I might have. Let's try again.